Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to episode 70 of the Casual Weebs podcast. What an incredible week. Listen, this week, I know we're dropping this a day late, but we are also dropping our first ever Netflix exclusive podcast version coming later in the week where we're going to talk about Fragrant Flowers, Sakamoto Days, and The Summer Hikaru Died. All three of them just phenomenal. But what we're going to be talking about this week on this part of the podcast is actually going to be Takopi's Original Sin. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's depressing as fuck. We're going to be talking about DanDaDan. We're going to be talking about Gachiakuta, which, by the way, episode 2, it delivered. We had some suspicion that it would, but then also a new premiere, an anime that just like, hey, guys, wait, don't forget about me. I'm here too. Tougen Anki, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, but like, what a first episode. Like, I was shocked. Like, you brought it up. You're like, hey, my buddy saw this anime. He said it's going to be really good. You sent me the teaser. I'm like, all right, watch the teaser and the trailer. I'm like, all right, yeah, this seems all right. Like, it seems pretty good. Maybe, we'll check it out. Watch episode 1. I'm like, yo, this blew the trailer out of the park. Like the trailer did not do it justice. I was watching it. I'm like, yo, this is fucking... Like, I was actually, like, planning on, like, kind of, like, watching. Like, all right, like, not bad. Let's put it on the back burner, when winter's, like, a little meh. You know what I mean? Watch it then. But nah, like that's gonna be every week. That's added to the list. That's on the schedule. So,
heck yeah.
What do you want to talk about first this week? I mean, all four I can just devour and just dive right into right now.
All four are phenomenal, but I want to get into Takopi's Original Sin because I just binged that all Sunday, and I was sitting there like contemplating everything.
Yeah.
What a fucking anime! Wow.
But the anime, by the way, that has a higher rating than Solo Leveling. I don't know the exact record or the exact stat, but apparently Takopi's Original Sin, it came out, we talked about it, like, hey, this depressing-ass anime actually surpassed Lord of the Mysteries when it dropped. It had a higher rating. Lord of the Mysteries had like a 9.3, this had like a 9.7. I don't know if it has a higher overall, or I think it's just the higher first episode. I think it did better than Solo Leveling Season 2 Episode 1 did this year. But either way, or it just has a higher rated episode than Solo Leveling dropped. But anyways, it apparently outshined Solo Leveling, which is impressive, especially for an anime of this genre. I mean, an anime that is, like, super depressing, talks about a lot of, like, traumatic stuff, isn't usually super popular, because it's not for the faint of heart. A lot of people feel really uncomfortable watching it, so the fact that it's doing this good, it says a lot. Honestly, be careful watching it, but you actually should really give it a shot, because holy shit, these past 3 episodes were insane, bro. Insane.
Yeah, I think it's sick because it's like you said, there's a lot of like sensitive subjects that get brought up in it, but it's also like very grounded in reality. We're not talking about like mystic abilities and enchanted swords and
a little bit.
But like the people in the show, besides Takopi, are just like regular people. So like it's very grounded in reality and like kind of touches on some of the like upbringings people might have and like some of the home drama that you just don't see outside of school or think about when you're a kid. And it's really based. It's very like depressing at times. It's kind of funny at times. But it really gives you a good look into like a dark childhood kind of, I don't know, psychological / thriller. Like there's a lot going on in just these 3 episodes, but I could definitely see why people rated it so highly. The story and the emotional depth, I was sitting there like, holy shit, this is deep, like very intense, dude. Bro, I love it so far.
When I saw the MC kind of just sitting there, just absolutely like fucked up and holding the dog collar, like the first time, shattered. Like just absolutely gut-wrenching. It's just like, fuck. And then of course you have that like very impactful then scene on episode 1 where it's just like, oh, like it sets the tone, like, yeah, like that's why it's got the warning in the beginning of the episode. Gotcha, makes sense. But what I think is absolutely insane is when you talk about like, oh yeah, it's got a lot of trauma, like so a lot of people can like relate to certain things, and like it's really like deep and like detailed. You know what I mean? It's got a lot of the little things where it's like, shit, like this is coming from probably someone's real story. It talks about a lot of different types of trauma, right? Because you kind of see like the poverty of the MC, right? The abuse she's kind of going through, missing her dad, really only having her dog, getting bullied at school, all these problems she's dealing with. But then you also have the nerdy kid. And, like, some people can relate to that, where it's, like, these insane expectations. You're getting deprived of stuff because you need to... you have this expectation to perform at a certain level and you're not. right? He's not able to live up to his brother's like standard or what he set, you know what I mean? And then you have also the blonde girl who we end up starting to hate, but you can kind of relate to. Like, the blonde girl kind of got fucked over the worst because she ended up, dead. Like, but her home life wasn't the best either, and you can kind of see how she took that out on the MC and kind of blamed her because it was her mom that this girl's dad was going out with, you know what I mean, behind her mom's back. Makes a lot of sense, I know, but you gotta watch it. I don't know the names, which makes it tougher to like identify, but like it's just absolutely insane. And when they kind of go in like all these different routes of like just traumatic backstories, it's just insane. And I feel like that's why it's super popular, because it kind of like hits different people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you make a great point. Like, they all have different backstories, and they're all like relatable for different reasons, and they do an amazing job of writing the third episode the way they do, so you're led up to believe the blonde girl is just like the most miserable, wretched little girl to have ever been born. But then you see once Takopi caves her face in with the camera and she dies, terrible burial job.
Yeah, it's like half sticking out of the ground. It's like, great job, guys.
They thought like, this'll do.
Can't
this
you
is good.
shrink that capsule too?
That's what I thought. Like,
bro,
all right, she's already dead. So if you tighten submarine her, you could bury it a lot easier.
Exactly.
Let's stick with our brains here.
They can make it the size of like a pen, but they're like, no, let's keep it full size and then bury the full thing and then have half of it sticking out. Then the body gets found. It's like, yeah, no shit. So stupid. It's insane.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing as you. I'm like, well, they're kids. Like, they're not that smart yet. But like,
what about Takopi,
so I'm like
bro?
shouting at my TV. Yeah, Takopi's not that smart either, honestly.
Takopi's the dumbest motherfucker ever.
Overestimated him. He's no Kuro sensei from Assassination Class.
Yeah, not at all. I actually didn't even like parallel that. That is such a good. You know what? That is a common theme we're gonna be talking about this episode. Are the parallels between this and like different animes? But you're right. Like, dude, he's Kuro sensei. But at the same time, Gachiakuta, that scene with the umbrella. We're gonna get into that later. I've been seeing that everywhere, and that got me so excited. But yeah, you're right. Like, what are they thinking? It's insane.
And like episode 3, then you get the blonde girl's backstory. She comes home, and like the scene where she's like, oh, I'm home, I'm back. Completely ignore it, and they're just scrapping. Like, the parents are going at it, and then we learn that her dad is seeing the MC's mom at the club. She's a single mom. She's doing what she can to make money. Sure, I understand. But basically, the blonde girl's home life is fractured because the dad makes all the money. He does what he wants. And, like, he says it 5 times. Like, it's my money. I can spend it how I want. Like, you can't tell me what to do with my money.
Yeah.
And all her mom really has at this point is the daughter. So she immediately picks up on the fact that it's not Takopi, or it's not her daughter, but somebody impersonating her, even though she has no evidence. Besides the fact that she's talking completely different.
Yeah.
And she, like, starts wailing on her. So, like, it really hits home, like, Takopi's starting to, like, this is not Planet Happy. This is Earth. And, like, he's seen through the MC's trauma, and now her, like, damn, I did the right thing for her, but, like, she was just taking out her miserable home life at school on the MC, and, like, in a way you can relate to it. It doesn't make it right, but, like, everybody's coming from a place of strife. Yeah, like, I think that really hit hard in episode 3, and you're like, I really wanted to hate her, but now, like, I have empathy for, the dead blonde girl. And I thought that was an incredible way to write her character because you killed her so quick.
And that's this crazy thing, too. Like, it's not just an episode where it's like, okay, we kind of get more of a backstory of the blonde girl and kind of where she's come from. Because we kind of got little glimpses of it in episodes 1 and 2. But, like, this is the Takopi episode. Like, first of all, it starts off funny as fuck. Like, when he, like, walks through the door, and he has no expectation what this household's like, right? So he's like, what's up, I'm home, completely gets ignored. And the parents are just absolutely fighting, right? And he's like, I'm home! They're still fighting! And he's like, I'm home! Boom! Gets fucking hit with, like, a keychain or whatever the fuck that was, and goes flying!
Oh, yeah!
And finishes, like, the, I'm home! Like,
so good.
Bro, had me in tears, just so funny. But, like, you gotta see that, like, it perfectly sums up just how, like, oblivious he is to what's going on. But at the end of the episode, like you're saying, it becomes, like, a very, like, character development, like, character building, like, episode for him. But he starts to realize that, like, oh, wait, shit, like, she was someone's daughter. You know what I mean? Like she actually mattered to people. Like she became the way she was because of circumstances. You know what I mean? Like there is good parts too. He saw like all the pictures and saw like the happy times and when they were a happy family, and he realizes like what he did. Like he took that life. You know what I mean? Like things could have been different. You know, but they'll never know now. And now she'll never get her daughter back, and he will never get, like they'll neither of them will get the daughter back. You know what I mean? And he ends up like breaking down and actually like realizing the impact of what he had and what he did. And I feel like that was just absolutely insane. The way that in like what 20 minutes we get that like completely oblivious, like trying to like be happy and cheerful as like the family completely isn't, and then kind of realizing like, oh fuck, like this is real, and I completely underestimated everything. So I thought episode 3 from Takopi's point of view, phenomenal. It was just so good.
Dude, perfectly put. And I think, we obviously have brought this up a lot, most recently with Lord of Mysteries, kind of with To Be Hero X, even though it's a little bit unconventional. You get 3 episodes to really pull a viewer in. If you're watching week to week, the first 3 episodes kind of got to have enough, punch or excitement or hit hard enough to like reel you into a new series. I feel like these 3 episodes were 3 straight home runs. It was like, damn, incredibly well written. Everything like kind of ties together. This was maybe one of the first animes I was like, I don't know if I would suggest this to somebody just because of like the emotional depth, but not in the same way I wouldn't suggest like, like something ecchi or like with a ton of fan service. Get somebody the wrong idea. But like this is really, really deep. And if, you're into like psychological horror and like trauma and thriller in that sense, I don't know if I've ever seen an anime open that style so well. And like you said, for this genre to be like surpassing stuff like Solo Leveling and, some of the more like top elite anime from the last year or two, that says it all. That says how, it's a testament to how good it is.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And this is going to be like one of those animes, because listen, there's a lot of us that like these types of animes. They're really good for lots of reasons, right? But you can understand why not everyone likes them. A lot of us like recommending these animes to people, though, when they kind of get under your skin and say animes for kids, and they're like, oh yeah, Takopi Original Sin, have fun. Ooh. Like, I feel like this is definitely going to be one of those animes of recent where people are going to be like, oh, it's for kids. You're right. You should check out this anime for kids. Enjoy.
Yeah. Yo, that's going to be the ace in the sleeve. Oh, it's for kids? Have I got one for you?
Yeah. And then they see the first episode and like, oh, okay. Like, this dude, again, like, losing the dog, dude, that absolutely broke me. But what's also kind of funny then, too, this episode, is, oh my god, did the MC corrupt the nerdy kid. Like, bro has been full-blown manipulated. It is insane. Look, we go from the first 2 episodes, like, feeling really, really bad for her. Like, you just, like, want to see her happy. Like, it is just hard to watch, you know what I mean? And then episode 3, she's a fucking demon. She is just like, would you please do this for me? It's like, you got him to be an accomplice to murder. Like, you realize that, right? He was not there for any of it.
And he knew better. Yeah. He knew better in the beginning, too.
Yeah, he was like, he discovered the body when they were, like, after they killed her, and he's like, you should, like, turn yourself in. Like, I read it in a book, it's gonna make it, like, better for you. She's like, oh, like, what else have you read? And he's like, well, like, you can, like, cover it up. And she's like, I wanna do that. And, like, you should help me. Like, please, I really need I need you. He's like, you need me? And then he's a part of it, and then she just keeps doing shit like that, and it's like, bro, like, he's just going down such a bad path now because the MC's just like, fuck it. Like,
which, like, lends itself to his character really well because his mom constantly, you get the scene with, like, the banging ass pancakes, and Jones look amazing. Yeah. I won't even lie. And she you got a 95 on your test, like, you're just not as good as your brother, you always fail. If I got a 95, my parents would throw me a party. I'm gonna be honest. Real. That's a great grade. Like, so he's under all this pressure, and like he's constantly being strung along by people that like want him to reach a certain level or like meet expectations, and they're not really realistic. So like he sees this, and this is something that he could do. Sure, I could dig a hole and barrier, and I think he's like leans into that need for like validation, which again is really sad, but like. It's just this beautiful combination of like 2 kind of 3, Takopi in a different sense, 3 people that are just like so traumatized and emotionally like ruined that they're just going along with it. And like she's happy the whole time, and he's like, well, I got some friends, like we're doing stuff together, like it's not so bad, I feel validated, she needs me. Like, damn, this is fucked up.
And that's the insane thing that, like, you kind of bring up, is that, like, it's, like, getting real. Like, they found the body. Like, the police are getting involved. That's one thing about each episode. They're getting, like, these cliffhangers. You know what I mean? Or it's like, shit, I need the next episode. Because now the police found the bodies. Like, the body. Like, now what happens? Like, because someone's been impersonating her. How does that happen? How are they going to explain that? How she's been around the entire time? How is that going to just, like, casually be, like, just forgotten? Or, like, are they like, oh, wait, no, she's right there. This must be a fake dead body. Like, how are they going to, like, you know, like, figure that out? How are they going to get through that? So it's just, like, I feel like they're going to start to have some real consequences, and it's just going to become more and more of a disaster. And it's just like, hey, we can't go back anymore. The camera's broken. Like, shit's permanent now, so I'm really, really excited to see how the rest of the season goes, because I have no idea where it's gonna go. I have no fucking idea. This anime, like, you can't predict. You know what I mean? It's just, like, it's all over the place. It's awesome.
It's phenomenal, and, like, yeah, I'm really excited as well, but, like, it's tough to know. Like, the only thought I had was, like, I could see the mom kind of, like, coming out and being like, oh, somebody's impersonating my daughter, like, she's sticking up for, like, the reality of the situation. It's like, she's just some crazy, like, lonely, you know, divorced lady. Like, Dad, don't listen to her. Because you can see how people, like, dismiss people so easily. And, you know, it is anime, but at the same time, like, I have a feeling she'll kind of be, like, the thorn in them getting away with this whole thing. Because, like, probably wouldn't think the kids would be able to, like, pull this off. But at the same time, like, nobody has really seen the blonde girl, like, beating on our MC and, like, all the bullying outside of school that she's done. Most people have no clue about or would believe is true.
But that's also the same in her own life, because, I mean, the mom abuses her too. You know what I mean? The mom could be a huge suspect, but, like, again, like, who's gonna talk about it? But she always did behind the dad's back. So, like, there's all these different angles of, like, it's just an absolute mess. Like, the cops are gonna be getting into this absolute maze of a mess of just what the fuck. And I wish them the best of luck. It is going to be absolutely insane to figure this out, and I have no idea who's going to get pinned for it. The kids could absolutely get in trouble because the MC has been kind of, like, ostracized, because, like, she's been framed against the blonde girl, where it's like, oh, you got your dog to attack me, you know what I mean? Like, there's, you know, proof of that, you know what I mean? There's people who can corroborate that, you know, or is, like, the mom going to kind of get in trouble for it? So, moving forward, it's just going to be insane. It's going to be all over the place, and I cannot wait to see, like, again, what happens, kind of what plot lines kind of, like, transpire, and also if anyone else is kind of added to the crew, you know what I mean, of these kids.
Yeah.
It's insane. So, I'm loving it. I'm super excited, but I feel like we should move right into Gachiakuta. That episode was absolutely insane. I already told you before this, my background's already Gachiakuta. I already swapped it over. Stream kind of yelled at me. Chat kind of yelled at me on stream because they're like, dude, it's been like a week. You already changed your background to Gachiakuta. I'm like, fuck yeah, I did. It's sick too. I don't know what to tell you. It's a great pick. I'll post it right here. Like, you guys can see it. Like, it's just clean. Gachiakuta episode 2, phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. It was so good.
It was cool because they kind of dove into, like, the powers, and, you know, we get a brief explanation that people who can give powers to items are givers. So, like, you're like, all right, now I have a clue kind of, like, what's going on with Rudo. And then, of course, we get to meet the most handsome man of the season, Engine.
Yep.
Such a good introduction. Like, he's kind of like...
The Uehara one? From Bleach?
Yeah.
That was the parallel I kept seeing with the umbrella kind of looking down at them. I'm like, what a way to introduce somebody into a series. Just a Bleach reference. Like, yo, that is fucking incredible. Especially Uehara is, like, in my opinion, one of the most slept-on, low-key, greatest characters of Bleach. I absolutely love him.
Oh, I think he's definitely my sleeper for Bleach, because he's by far the smartest one, and he doesn't have the same powers that Aizen does, but my man gets it done. So that comparison is phenomenal. I think it's fire, and it really hypes Engine up, because as kind of like the leader of the cleaners, he's not the official leader, but of our, like, kind of main cast, he is.
Yeah.
Or squad, whatever you want to call him. And then he obviously shows how fucking sick he is, using, like, a simple umbrella to be, like, up in the air, floating, kind of flying, and then he's popping off these crazy attacks too. Really, really good, like, formal introduction into Engine. And, like, the funny faces and, like, conversations he has with Rudo, dude, I think people are gonna love him right away.
Bro, I love how, like, they started off just absolutely fighting. He, like, Rudo's, like, trying to, like, talk, and he's like, bro, like, shut the fuck up. And he keeps trying to talk, bro, shut the fuck up. And then finally the monster, like, aggroes onto them. He's like, dude, you see? You happy? And he just absolutely loses it. He's like, I'm not a loud guy. I don't scream. And he's, like, ripping into him. He's like, that actually felt really good to kind of, like, get out there.
Get that off my chest. Now that we're done screaming.
Gets right to business, bro. I love that. I cannot wait to meet like the rest of the characters and kind of see their powers as well. Because one thing that was very cool is that he kind of like tested Ruto again by kind of giving him to like those one guys, and they kind of captured Ruto in a way where they kind of threw him in the back of the truck, and you see Engine at the top of the cliff just kind of watching, and the funny reaction too between him and the other guy where they're like, he can control two at once. Like that's insane. Like Engine was hyped. He was like, oh my god, this guy's special, and the other guy was like petrified. He's like, oh my god, I'm fucked. Like, what did I get myself into?
And I love how like he turns the tire basically into like the blue shell from Mario Kart, just walks around and is like smashing people with this demon tire. It was like, dude, I love Ruto. But it was also awesome. They're like smashing like basically shit. And he starts eating it and he's like, none of this is waste. Like this isn't trash. And they're like, hold up, like what? And he just pops off. And he like biting the guy's fingers off. Really sick.
Bro,
that was badass.
I was like,
then he eats it.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. He sat there, and the guy's like shoving food in his mouth, like, oh, we can't let you starve, we can't let you die. And he fucking sits there, and when you see the teeth go into the mouth, you're like, oh no. Like, oh no. And he just clamps, and he rips the skin off. Like, that's the one thing where you then see, like, the bones of the two fingers, like what?
Yeah.
Like, what? And he's just munching it down. I thought he, like, spit it out and be like, oh, like, fuck. Like, some Tokyo Ghoul kind of shit. Like, that's what kind of reminded me of, like, Tokyo Ghoul, like, Ken, when he kind of became a cannibal. I was like, dude, like, what? And he's like, this stuff is delicious. He's like, you guys have it easy. And that's what I love, how they're sitting there kind of, like, coming at him, like, oh my god, you sphere people, or you Spherites, or what do they call them? They're like, you guys have it so easy, and just throw your trash down here, like, eat our delicacies, like, you know what I mean? And he's like, you guys, like, think that this, like, isn't good? Like, this is delicious, this is the best. He's, like, eating the guy's fingers, and it was just, like, the way he could, like, throw it back at them, like, actually, you guys are the ones who are entitled, was so fucking funny, and then just goes off on them. Like, it was just incredible.
And, like, I love how Ruto holds that attitude the whole time. Like, obviously, you expect character growth. He's the main character. But, like, he always keeps that, like, bitterness and, like, that want for revenge because of everything he's been through in the first couple episodes. He always keeps that, and it makes his character so good.
Yeah.
And, like, Engine watching over him, like, yeah, it kind of sets him up. But in the same way, like, he's also trying to see what he's made of and, like, what they're going to be bringing into the group. And then he sees, you know, all his powers and, like, he can use a couple different items, and he was super hyped about it, which, yeah, very big deal once we get, like, deeper into it. But I thought it was, like, the perfect introduction to, like, the power system, which is very unique, but at the same time, like, showing how strong Engine is and kind of the potential that Ruto has for, you know, basically the next, 22 episodes.
Yeah, speaking of, because we got announced, I don't know if we talked about that on the pod, but we do have a double season uninterrupted. Guys, week 3 is delayed. That's great to hear, because of they have elections or something, so week 3 is gonna be pushed back a week. So like, oh yeah, guys, double season uninterrupted. By the way, if there's an interruption next week.
Oh damn, I didn't know that. I mean, I guess we'll let it slide because it's so good.
But hey, we have one little break, and then we literally have what, like 24 episodes? Well, I guess now 22 to just absolutely rip through. Listen, anime gods, thank you so fucking much. Especially this anime. If I could ask for any anime to have 24 this season, like, uninterrupted, instead of like, oh, we're gonna have 12, and then you wait a couple months and then 12 more, it's Gachiakuta. You know what I mean? Like, I love this anime. I'm loving it. And I want to just know so much about it. You know what I mean? I want to really dive more into, you know, the cleaners and meeting the rest of the characters, because I'm seeing a lot on TikTok. I'm loving it. I love this trend where it's like, oh, before it gets overhyped, here's my favorite characters, kind of showing that they've, like, you know, someone's been, like, a part of it, you know, for a long time now. It's not just, they're not just a band, like, hopping on the bandwagon. And they've been showing a ton of Gachiakuta characters that they really like, and I'm seeing a bunch of them that, like, you haven't even brought up. And it's like, dude, like, they look so sick. Like, I'm seeing Engine at, like, number 3 or 4 with a lot of these. And there's, like, they're showing some, like, other ones that are getting later into the manga. I'm like, yo, these characters look so awesome. I want to dive right into them. Like, it looks sick.
Dude, it's so good. I completely agree with you. Like, I was so thrilled when they announced that it would be 24 straight episodes. Like, we got the double season. Our anime prayers have been answered. But I think it'll also take Gachiakuta into that kind of, like, elite popularity, like Solo Leveling, Spy Family, Jujutsu Kaisen, the things that are, like, you know, getting pop-up shops and, like, you know, they're on billboards and stuff. Like, Kagurabachi's kind of like that right now, even though it's only a manga.
Yeah.
I think this will really kind of, like, especially in the West, like, help blossom that popularity, which doesn't really need that much help because it's so sick. But I think people will really like dive into it. You'll get a deeper understanding because the villains are awesome. Kind of like the main antagonist group. They have some really, really good characters to them, and the depth to a couple of them I think are phenomenal.
Yeah.
But then even our own cast, like not just the squad we meet, but also like the cleaners, the other cleaners, and some of the leaders I think are really important. So the extended season for me, I think is absolutely perfect. It's definitely the one I would want to be the longest. So thankfully we did get that.
Yeah, because not only does the story look phenomenal, not only the characters look sick, but the fight scenes also delivered in the second episode. They were absolutely phenomenal, and this is kind of like is the reverse 2B Hero X. Like we talked about 2B Hero X kind of shining in a season that was not as stacked, you know what I mean? Didn't have the most popular names, and it's like, oh, it's extending into one of the most stacked seasons ever in anime history. That's gonna be kind of rough. You know, Gachiakuta is starting off and dominating in this the fucking atmosphere of just incredible peakness, and then it's me extending into a season that's kind of lackluster. Not that bad, it really isn't. Winter season seems like it's gonna be pretty sick, but like not even close to this. So it's like is it gonna be whatever the next season is? You know what I mean? It's like Gachikuta is gonna dominate next season. You know, because we're gonna be getting into like the second part too, where it's gonna be coming to like I think a strong close into season 2. So like I think it's gonna do absolute wonders for it. I think it's gonna crush it.
Yeah, you're right. There's so much to compete with, especially as we get into like August and September and like things are in full effect. Your 12 episode animes are kind of coming to a close or at their peak. Then we got the Demon Slayer movie, we got the Chainsaw Man movie.
Oh
like
my
it's
God,
just
yes.
it's gonna be that staple that just keeps powering through and gets better and better, and like people will really be into it. I think mostly because of the story is really good, but also the characters. There's so many really, really great characters. Villains that turned good and, you know, kind of vice versa. So there's a lot I think to look forward to. And like, you know, episode 2 gave us some cool fight scenes, but I think the deeper we dive into it, the more popular it's gonna get, and there's just gonna be so many different characters to love.
Yeah, like I hate it because I got spoiled a little bit, but I learned a little info based off of the murder. You know what I mean? His like adoptive father, if you can say, what happened to him. I got spoiled a little bit surrounding that. Let me just say, boys, I am going to binge the manga after season 1 because this story
Hell
seems
yeah.
so fucking good. Like everything from episode 1 that like no one knows about anime only right now was explained in that spoiler. And let's just say that this manga, this anime, this story is gonna be so deep and so good. I don't think we're ready for it. Like I'm so fucking excited. I hate that I got spoiled on it, but to be fair, it seems like a pretty small spoiler, and I wish we kind of like learned more about it because it make episode 1 make more sense. You know what I mean? Like episode 1 is missing that one singular piece I got spoiled on that kind of ties everything together. But I cannot wait until we get there and the anime only watchers learn about it and they're kind of like, oh fuck, because you're gonna see episode 1 in a whole new light. Like episode 1 is really fucking slept on, and it was beloved. You know what I mean?
Now you make a really good point, and like I think that's the wonders of like foreshadowing and like setting your story up well.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna look back in however many episodes and be like, wow, not only is that guy a horrible piece of shit, but like, damn, episode 1 like hits a little differently now.
Yeah.
And like you don't get that like foresight without having read the manga, but like it really hits well, and just again adds depth to these characters. And you really need. I mean, you do know who's good and bad for the most part, but like not everybody. And I think that extra edge makes it even sicker.
Yeah, I like it introduces aspects to the story that's really cool, kind of like the power system. You know what I mean? So like that is something where it's like there's still so much mystery into this anime. Of course, we're only 2 episodes in, but like boys, trust me, this is gonna be quite a ride. I hope you guys are excited and hope you're ready because it's about to get crazy. Like I cannot wait, and I'm not prepared. I'm gonna do my best to make sure I never get spoiled again. I do not want to get spoiled until after season 1, where I can just absolutely read everything and be like, "Holy crap!" We might have to do a manga video on it. That might be something we have to wrap back around and be like, "Hey, yo, season 1 just ended. Let's get into the manga type of thing." Because if you guys didn't know, we do have a playlist where we do talk about some of the finest, some of the best mangas out there. Kagurabachi was one of them. What is the other one? Goku Rakugan guy. That's another one. Remember how I said I was seeing that like trend where people are like, "Oh, before it gets overhyped, overrated. Here's my favorite characters." Gakuraka guy was the other one I kept seeing like people talk about and kind of freak out about, and I'm like, yo, it is amazing. I was commenting on all those posts like, that's another manga where it's criminally slept on, and again, it's like an award winner. It's fucking incredible. But anyways, speaking of like award winners, like absolutely insane episode 2 for like DanDaDan. What an episode. Like, so good.
Like you had said this about episode 1, it really felt like they hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like middle of the season good right now with Gigi's transformation. And I feel like this was kind of like foreshadowed very like openly. Like we kind of knew something was up with Gigi and like the house and everything that was going on.
Yeah.
And then you meet I won't say the creepiest, but they're up there. The creepiest family, one of the creepiest families in the whole show. Weird ass people fall down under this massive hole.
Yeah.
So like at this point, you got to know something's up with this house, this residence, and all the people that have lived there. But the backstory with the evil eye, that was really cool.
Yes.
I felt like they did a phenomenal job, and the pink hair girl who's kind of full of herself loves Ken.
Not in
I
the
forget her
series
name
yet. Well, not in the season yet, I should say.
Yeah, I forget her name. Everybody was able to resonate with her.
Oh, Acrobatic Silky?
Acrobatic Silky. My man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Think I'm going to forget about her? Hells no.
Yeah. So, like, it was super easy to resonate with her, like, amazingly sad backstory. Just super tragic. And, like, everybody at once was kind of like, damn, I feel you. Like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
With Gigi, it was kind of like a mutual understanding, not necessarily in the same light, but like in the same way that Gigi was like, damn, he's not a bad guy. Like he's just been through a lot. But Momo and Ken can't see that. So like the kind of juxtaposition of her, getting her powers and Gigi, I thought was really well done, but still hit to the same effect as, they're just trying to like do the right thing and like empathize a little bit with these creatures or demons or humans at one time that didn't really have it well.
Well, to be fair, like Acrobatic Silky kind of like I'm pretty sure gave her power to save the pink hair girl, which is how they kind of like merged and like kind of formed, and how the pink hair girl got those powers. Gigi got like tricked, and to be fair, I would have gotten tricked too. Like I would have fallen for that shit. I would have felt for him and like been like, "Yo, bro, like let's be homies. Like I feel awful for you, and you seem like a nice guy." I would have gotten tricked too. But like that's the difference is that like the pink hair girl's in control of those powers because like Acrobatic Silky kind of like gave them to her, while Gigi kind of got possessed and he's being controlled and he got manipulated. You know what I mean? Like Turbo Granny nailed it on the head the entire time. Doesn't matter. Don't fucking trust them. Don't trust them. Gigi's like, okay, trust them. And then she's like, you guys are fucking stupid. And that's what I love about Turbo Granny. Turbo Granny doesn't give a fuck. She's like, you guys are so goddamn dumb. How many times do I need to tell you not to fucking trust her? And you did anyways. And look at you're possessed. Like, let's go. Let's get out of here.
She's
He's
straight
dead.
up like, yeah, I'm not helping you. Like,
yeah.
This is all you.
I wouldn't either. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, how many times do I have to tell you not to fucking do that? It's like, don't touch the hot pot. Touch the hot pot. Okay, you can just deal with it. Like, enjoy the pain. Like, you're an idiot. Like, I don't blame Turbo Granny. Turbo Granny's a mood, bro. So, like, I feel like that's kind of the difference, and, like, that's just absolutely insane. You can't blame Gigi for it, but the whole idea with the evil eye was absolutely insane. The worm, too, trying to get people to, like, commit suicide was insane, too. Like, we learned about Gigi's parents', like, backstory. We heard that they were in the hospital and something happened, but I don't think it was ever confirmed what happened. Like, that's insane. The way that this earthworm is just, like, making people hang themselves. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that was an insane aspect, too. So, like, I feel like everything is just, like you said, like, 0 to 100. It's like, dude, we're in mid-season form. It feels like we've been watching since that last episode aired. It is insane. Like, we picked up right where we left off.
So good, and I love Gigi's powers. Like, he's into soccer. The, like, PSG kind of, like, reference when they're trying to find out if Ken's actually his best friend. Mm-hmm. And then he charges up his powers, like, into this ball, and he's, like, kicking it and doing all these crazy soccer moves, and that's how he's, like, attacking the worm.
Yeah.
This is sick. Very unique and different. But then it was like, all right, this guy is way stronger than anybody else Ken and Momo have fought. Like, I feel like Ken's going to really have to step up in this fight to, like, bring Gigi back or beat the evil eye, whatever happens. He's really going to have to take it up a notch because he runs out of his powers so fast. Like, I can't imagine.
Well, Turbo Granny says it because she even says, she's like, what do you expect? Like, first of all, the evil eye is strong as a spirit. You know what I mean? Just in general. But then it possesses Gigi, who apparently has immense spiritual energy and also athletic as fuck. So you have insanely strong spirit with an insanely strong vessel, OP. Ken, on the other hand, really strong spirit, very weak vessel, which is why you have the limitations, which is why Gigi's OP and it's like he's absolutely insane, but Ken, has his problems, but Ken, I mean, one thing that he does that Gigi has yet to do, the way Ken does, is fucking aura farm. The way he comes in to save Momo again, and it's like, yo, man, no one hurts Momo. I was just like, that's our fucking guy. Like, that's our boy. Like,
yes,
you come
so
from Momo,
good, dude.
you're getting fucked up, bro.
Hell yeah, dude. I think Ken will kind of take it up a notch. You're exactly right, though. He doesn't really have the same physical, like, prowess that Gigi does, and that's kind of like a trope against him. You know what I mean? Ken's kind of like the awkward, goofy, weak, nerdy kid.
Yeah.
And then, Gigi's running around with his shirt off, like perfect 8-pack,
Yeah, fucking
average,
jacked.
Your average 15-year-old anime kid,
Yeah.
6'3", chiseled, like, haven't seen him work out once. He's just sculpted.
On his 15th cycle of steroids, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
like you said, it's not
exactly.
even 6-pack, it's like an 8-pack. It's like, bro, like, who fed you? Like, Jesus, he's a bodybuilder. It's insane.
The one scene where he's like carrying Momo and Ken, he's like they like give him a chiseled back for no reason. I'm like, all right, somebody's obviously a Gigi fanboy here, for good reason. But damn, they went all out on my man's muscle.
Well, to be fair too, is that you're saying that it's kind of a trope against Ken. Ken is working out. We have seen moments of Ken like trying to get stronger and like trying to build a physique. So maybe in a couple seasons we do see like a little bit of like, hey, Ken's not too much of a dork anymore. You know what I mean? Like Bro can kind of fuck shit up, and he is a beast. Like I said, if someone like messes with Momo, like I wouldn't want to go against Ken. Like, I mean, we have the whole thing within the classroom where he's like, hey, I heard Momo gets around. And he just lifts him up, and he's like, yeah, Momo ain't that kind of girl, bro. And it was like the same kind of energy with that scene where he's like, hey, no one hurts Momo. And he goes toe-to-toe with Gigi. I was like, yo, this showdown is going to be legendary. And I'm betting the house on Ken. I don't give a shit. I'm betting it all on him. I'm all in.
All in on Ken, baby. And I kind of thought they would push this to be like episode 6, 7, 8. This would kind of be like the middle of the season. Yo, they went right into it. Episode 2, which I think is perfect because you have a whole season left. I'm sure this fight won't be that quick, but at the same time, like you have a whole season to resolve things and kind of set up or move in to the next arc. Whereas I kind of thought they would pace it really slow and try and, make this the middle of the season rather than the beginning. So I love that.
Well, we have so many things going on right now. We had the family, which we're dealt with. Like, the family of ghosts has been, like, trapping people and getting them, and sacrificing people. They seem like they're dead to the earthworms. They seem like they're done. We still have the earthworm, though, who's insanely strong. And we have the evil eye, right? Is there a third thing, though? Because I feel like Gigi's powers awakened because he felt something in the house that was very creepy, and it kind of like possessed him. And that's why he struggles to like sleep now, right? And we kind of like saw that like he kind of got possessed by something, and that's why like he is like insane spiritual power. And she's like, hey, like he's just like the weird, quirky guy I've always known. And that's when Turbo Granny was like, yeah, you were normal too until recently, right? Like something activated your powers. Was there a third thing that activated Gigi's powers? Or was that just the evil eye, or was that the earthworm? Because if there is a third thing, then yeah, this season is full of fights, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of massive and very strong spirits that they have to deal with and navigate through.
Now, you're right. I think it was more him just coming to terms with the evil eye, and like he was already possessed, but he finally gave into it because he, like you said, he was kind of tricked. But at the same time,
from last season. That was something that in the first season, that when we started meeting Gigi, it was brought up. Like Gigi started like we saw him like struggle to sleep at the granny's place, and then we kind of saw like the flashbacks when he was in his home, like something was lurking in the shadows, and it kept getting closer and closer and closer, and then it grabbed him, and that's where it kind of shows him like tweaking out on the ground, kind of remembering that. And I was like, wait, was that something else, or was that the evil eye initially kind of reaching out to him, and now he's kind of like accepting it, kind of like you're saying, coming to terms.
Yeah, like, was he possessed the whole time? Like,
yeah.
Because they kind of do that with Ira, the pink-haired girl. I would have never got that.
Dude, how did you forget that? I feel like that's actually like pretty easy to remember, like Ira.
I always have to like associate it with something. Like Momo and Ken, very easy. Gigi, very easy.
Yeah.
Ira, that should be easy, but
yeah.
And it's been a season. We were focused on the spring.
When she gets back into season 2, we'll easily remember her.
Yeah. But, like, even in Ira's sense, like, when you go back to Acrobatic Silky's story, she was, like, kind of that first little girl that she saw after the whole, events of her, like, losing her daughter and, jumping off the building and everything. and she kind of like followed her for her, adolescent years as she grew into like a young adult.
Hmm.
I kind of feel like it's similar in the sense that Ken, or not Ken, Gigi was always kind of haunted, maybe not necessarily possessed, but as long as him and his family were in that house, the evil eye was looking at him and
Yeah.
felt he was a good vessel. And now he's just come to terms with like, oh, maybe he's not that bad of a guy, like, and lets himself get possessed. And also, kind of off topic, the detail and the look they gave to Gigi, like while he's possessed with the evil eye, with like the rainbow earrings and stuff,
Oh,
incredibly sick.
so cool, dude. His ears and shit were like so dope. That's one thing I kept seeing. I'm like, dude, that just like looks good, and it's like the coloring of it. It's like very like vibrant. I'm like, bro, like Gigi's like possessed like a look is like fucking awesome, and like that's kind of
So tough.
again a common thread because Ken looks fucking badass too. Like Ken's possessed form, like 10 out of 10. Like who was ever designing on this team here, amazing. Like congratulations, you are undefeated, my friend. Like absolutely undefeated. Like yeah, you're right. He looks incredible. He looks so cool.
So good. And then with his powers, I think it's really sick for this to be like episode 2. And I mean, we did
Does
feel
not
a little
like
build
it.
up. Not at all, dude. We felt a little bit of build up, but I still thought like we'd have, 4 or so episodes before we really get into the evil eye, dude.
Yeah.
100 miles an hour, hit the ground running. This DanDaDan is definitely a must watch, like every week this season.
It then makes me super, super, super fucking excited for Kaiju and Sakamoto days because they all had that similar season 1 into the season 2 type of vibes. And if this is how DanDaDan's kind of starting out the gate, it's like, dude, are we getting this for their other two as well? Like, I am pumped. But, I mean, let's talk about the anime that came out of the gates on its premiere. I mean, what is it, Tougen Anki? I gotta learn, like, how to say this. Tougen Anki, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Phenomenal first episode. It's one of the episodes this season, because we've had a lot of episodes kind of have, like, extended, like, longer first episodes, where there's, like, 30 minutes, 40 minutes type of thing. It's one that I
Yes.
kind of would have liked, because you came out of the gates and you showed us that, hey, we can design, right? The art's really cool. The fight scenes were fucking incredible. Like, the fight scenes were so good, but it was the whole episode. Like, we don't really know too much about the world or kind of what's going on. We know there's Onis. There were some fights between them. They're almost extinct. There's a couple left. Our boy's an Oni. He looks dope. Like, his Oni form. Like, what is that? But even then, I like the horns when it's like human form. Just looks so cool. And, like, we know that he got collected, and like they're kind of making a squad of Onis, and right, so that seems like it's gonna be our main cast. Other than that, we don't really know a whole lot. You know what I mean? So I would have loved, that little bit extra time in the episode to kind of get more like story instead of just straight up fights. But the fights were phenomenal, and you ended on a really good cliffhanger. So I gotta say, very good premiere, very good episode 1. I'm hooked.
I agree. The cliffhanger definitely had me because I
Yeah.
would have loved like a 37-minute episode, give us
Mhm.
like maybe 15 more minutes.
Yeah.
But in the same way that I wanted more, I think that did its job as a pilot episode. Like,
Mhm.
I'll be back this week to watch.
Yeah.
The character designs were super cool. And like, I thought it was funny how they like, one lean into him like, oh yeah, I got expelled from school, couldn't care less. Like, now I can just do whatever I want. Like, and he's a demon versus like, his, I don't know if it's his father or his adopted father. I think adoptive.
Adopted father. Yeah.
He's a Momotaro, so like, samurai, like doing things the right way, like kind of that opposite.
Yeah.
And then we learn at the end of the episode, like, he's a descendant of the people who hunt demons and Onis. So like he is harboring a demon, and that's like total, blaspheme against what they believe. But in the same breath, he like gives his life for him, which triggers our MC to like awaken his powers, which basically up until then he had no idea about. He totally just drops this bombshell on him like in the middle of the moment, which I also thought was kind of funny too.
Dude, yeah, it was really, really good because like I was going into this like anime, right? Like expecting to kind of like just kind of put it on the back burner or just like drop it, right? Because like I said in the beginning of the episode, like you kind of brought up, your friend kind of brought it up, you kind of showed me the trailer, and I'm like, all right, yeah, it seems like it's like all right, you know what I mean? It seems pretty good, but like it's a stacked season. We don't have time in the first place. Like boys, like this is the list. Like I have to
Hell
organize it, and the fucking page is full. Like, are you kidding me? Like, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Like, going outside? Yeah, okay. Okay, maybe at the end of the year. Not right now.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't expecting to like pick it up, but then I watched that first episode. I'm like, fuck. Like yeah, this is on the agenda. This is on the list. We'll see you next
Put it on
week.
the list.
Like you got me. You got me on episode 1. So I'm really excited for like, especially because they set up episode 2. Like we talked about with Gachiakuta, where like episode 2, like you're so excited for it because it set it up where it's like, oh, we're gonna start to meet some of the characters, get more into the story, a little bit of fight. Beautiful, right? This is setting up for a really good episode 2 because we got, like, you showed us what you can do in the fight aspect, right? The fight scenes were incredible, the art's really cool, and the premise seems like a really good story. Now you're setting it up where it's like, yo, see, episode 2 seems like it's gonna go straight into just straight up like lore. And I'm really excited about that. Like, what were those mummy-looking things at the end? Like, what's going on? I want to meet the other characters. I want to get into this. Like, it looks like, bro, like, just drop episode 2. You can't just, like, get me going like that and then just be like, all right, see you guys next week. And like you said, they did that perfectly. Because, like, sure, an extra 15 minutes would have been nice, but we wouldn't have been as hooked, you know, for that next episode. So they did episode 1 beautifully. Like, very good.
Yeah, and like one thing I really loved is his powers are all like guns and missiles because he has like a bunch of airsoft guns and knives, like he's into weapons. And there's one manga cover where he's got his like hand and it's like turned into this huge like sniper or machine gun type thing.
Yeah.
So like I thought that was cool. And the opening is by the Oral Cigarettes, which is like a huge, very popular band in Japan. They're sick. The opening was cool. I'm a sucker for everything like that. Like Pale Dust doing the Gachiakuta opening was like, dude, not only are we eating, we're also getting mad soundtracks right here. Like the OPs are hitting, dude. And Tougen Anki definitely was a good one.
That's literally the insane thing about this season is that, yes, we have the most stacked season ever in anime. Some of the best animes are dropping. These premieres are fucking phenomenal. These openings are so good. Like, they're absolutely insane. We're eating on both anime and content, but also music-wise. Like, we can't ask for more. Like, it's absolutely insane. Like, what a season. Thank you, anime gods. Like, I don't know what we did to deserve this, but, like, I'm loving it. I can't get enough. Like, it's just so good. Like I said, what a great first ep. I'm excited for episode 2. Like, it was such a good look. And I have to start checking out some of the other ones, too, because, like, I haven't seen The Water Magician yet. I heard that's really good as well. And then Cleopatus, I heard that's really good. So it's like, dude, there's so many more. And boys, I'm not going to lie, like a little guilty pleasure here. Like, I started watching Dealing with the Mikadono Sisters as a breeze. Bro, it reminds me a ton of Quintessential Quintuplets. And I'm like, shit. Like, dude, it's good. Like it's actually solid. It was really funny. It was so entertaining. They did a little bit of a Fire Force, though. I didn't like it. They did a little bit of like, the anime has no fan service whatsoever. Like, absolutely none. It's just straight up, like, Quintessential Quintuplets was just, like, good. You know what I mean? It seems like it would have that, like, bad harem kind of vibe. But then it's like, it was really no fan service. It was really kind of, like, a nice, enjoyable, funny. And then he picked one girl, right? It was like, oh, like, it didn't seem like what it seems. This is the same way. Like, very funny, no etchiness or fan service. And then, I think episode 1 or episode 2, they did like half a second, like, shower scene. And it's like, why? It came out of absolute nowhere. I'm pretty sure it is the only reason it's a 4.8 instead of a 4.9. Because, dude, people get upset by that. Like, if you, like, pretend to be, like a normal, like, just chillin' anime, and then you just add some random, like, fan service like that, like, it's gonna annoy people. Like, you gotta be fan service, you gotta be not fan service. You can't, like, be not fan service and just throw a random scene in. Other than that one minuscule scene, it was, like, one of my favorite watches of the week. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was really funny and entertaining. I honestly recommend it. I recommend it if you like Quintessential Quintuplets.
Yeah, Quintessential Quintuplets was really good about that. There is a shower scene where, like, she doesn't know the MC's over and she opens the door because she thinks she's with her sisters and she's just like in a towel. But it's like embarrassing. It's not like, you know, this overhead camera shot, you know, of like somebody showering. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, hold up here. So like, yeah, I feel you on that, but I'll have to check it out. There's like so much going on. It's so easy to miss some of these like really good sleepers.
Dude, God bless TikTok and YouTube Shorts, because then they just drop clips, you see them, and that's why it's important to make content on these animes that are fucking awesome, because that's how people see it, you know what I mean? And then you're like, alright, bet. And I do gotta admit, this anime is kind of one-for-one quintessential quintuplets, because it does have a lot of similar scenes. You know the scene where, the little moment where he makes the study guides, and that's where he, like, really reels them in, because he's like, they're like, oh my god, like, he took so much time to, like, you know, make these for us, because he handwritten them all. And then the one sister was like, nah, fuck that, and kind of threw it, and they're like, hey, yo, I'll fuck you up. Go read the study guide. Look how much effort he put into this. Same thing in like episode 1 where like he made food for them. Because of course it's literally the same fucking premise. It's the same show except with instead of 5 girls it's 3, right? And in my opinion they have better personalities. I like them better, right? So he literally makes like food for them. Very specific to their diets, right? Takes all this time out, and the one girl's like, nah, I'm not hungry. And she's like, yo, get the fuck down here and eat this food. She's like, nah, I'm good. And I'm like, bro, this is the same scene. So again, if you want something like quintessential quintuplets, I do recommend it, but like it is low-key like a one-for-one copy.
Dude, if it works, it works. You know what I mean? That's a great show, so definitely worth checking out. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. This season's got a lot of like comfy animes. I mean, The Secrets of the Silent Witch is another one that was absolutely awesome. Episode 2 delivered. Episode 1 was phenomenal, and then episode 2 is so good as well. Like, there's just so many animes where it's like, dude, these are so goddamn good. Again, guys, we're dropping another video at the end of this week where we're doing our Netflix exclusive version of the podcast, where we're going to talk about Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, we're going to talk about Sakamoto Days, we're going to talk about the summer Hikaru died. We're going to be dropping these sporadically, like maybe not every week, but a good amount of weeks. So keep a lookout for that. Those are 3 animes that are also delivering this season, like just so good. I mean, could we ask for any more? No, it's just amazing. So is there anything else you'd like to add?
There's so much different stuff to check out, and like it's easy to like just pick the big ones, but I would dive into something like Tougen Anki or Fragrant Flower or just like just anything that like piques your interest, because there's so much good stuff outside of like the main. Even Gachiakuta has like a pretty big following. Obviously check it out, but like check out some of the other ones, because it's so easy to fall in love with some of these characters, plots, and just all the good stuff. You were like, could we ask for anything more? I really couldn't. Maybe for Dragon Ball Super manga to come back, but that's a little gratuitous, so I'll hold off. I'm pretty satisfied.
You know what we can actually ask for? More time in the fucking day. That is one thing we can definitely ask for.
We get 2 more hours. Let's rock with a 26-hour schedule here. 2 hours dedicated strictly to anime. We'd be good.
Exactly. Because, like, other than that, it's so hard to find time, bro. I've, like, saved my dubbed animes that I'm watching for, like, when I go work out. So I'm able to, like, make sure I can watch everything. I gotta be efficient with watching anime now, bro. There's just way too many. But outstanding season. It's going to continue to get even better and better and better. So I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are loving it. And I hope you guys are like really enjoying this, because I mean, like, it's insane. Try out new animes, because like, listen, everything is hitting. Like, I'm looking at like all these like sleepers and stuff, and people, like, I see clips, look it up. Everything's a 4.8 or 4.9, and it's deserved. And a Crunchyroll 4.8, 4.9, it's a must watch. So many of these are must watches. You've really got to check a lot of these out. And that is it. Hope you guys have a phenomenal and busy rest of your week. Anyways, see you guys later, and peace.